What's going on, everyone? And welcome back to Treebeard's Toy Box. And today, we're going to be taking a look at this brand new Netflix The Witcher Geralt of Rivia action figure from McFarlane Toys. I have been looking forward to this figure for a long time now, and I was able to pick him up at Target this afternoon, and I was a little taken back by the price of $29.99. So we'll have to get him open and see what he's got. I'm pretty sure he's just got his cloak and his sword and a stand. So I'm not quite sure why we're paying $29.99. Well, I think I might be one of the few who pays that. I don't think that many of these are going to sell. That's just my opinion. It's definitely a very steep price for what we usually get for the DC Multiverse for $19.99. So just getting that out of the way. But regardless, I did pay the $29.99. I'm very happy to have this figure, hoping that he turned out all right, and I'm trying not to get too excited, but you know what I see here? I see something that looks like thigh cuts, and we all know McFarlane Toys doesn't do that, so I'm anxious to see what's going on in there. I'm digging this packaging here. It's a little different. We've got this Witcher logo here, the Netflix, and I mean, we've seen this size before, but there's just something about the box that looks really cool. I'm really digging it. We get this here at the top, little emblem there. The figure looks really nice in the window here. Now, I will say, if you do have the opportunity to pick this guy up in the wild, I would recommend it, because you're going to want to take some time to make sure you get the best looking face. They definitely did not hit the mark when it comes to getting the likeness to Henry Cavill, so I'm not quite sure what happened. I did find one that I really like. We'll get a closer look once we get him out of the box, but it's a little better than the promo images, but still not great. So let's go ahead and check out this side here. We've got that nice Witcher logo here. And here we have the back of the packaging, and we get this cool looking sword in the background there, and we get these couple images of Geralt there. And yeah, let's take a look at the other side here, and it's just going to be another logo just like the other side. So let's go ahead and get one final look at the front of the packaging here. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and open this guy up and check him out. For the inside of the packaging, we get this nice background here, and we get this stand here with the Netflix Witcher logo printed on it. And I will be leaving that in the packaging, because if I do use a stand, it's usually going to be from Tashi Station Emporium. So do be sure to check those guys out, because they have fantastic stands. So here we have Geralt of Rivia out of the packaging. And there are some things that I like about this figure, and there are some things that I really don't like about this figure. But let's go ahead and get a closer look here. Per usual, McFarlane has done a fantastic job with all the sculpt work. We get a lot of nice detail throughout the armor, so that's really cool. We do get a sheath back here for his sword, and he's a pretty hefty dude. He feels nice in hand. I made sure that all the paint apps were nice. Those turned out pretty good. And the face, you know, I'm not sure what happened. You can kind of see Cavill there. I mean, it definitely looks like The Witcher, but the likeness is, I mean, it could be better. I'm not sure why McFarlane has so many issues. I don't know if they don't use facial scans or what, if they just, I think they do a lot of just like sculpting without scan, but I don't know. I'm not going to assume that. If you happen to know, let me know in the comments, but they do tend to have some trouble with their human faces, like their human figures. But I'm happy to have him. He looks good. So let's go ahead and set him aside and take a look at his couple accessories he comes with. So for accessories, like I showed you earlier, we do get that stand, and I'm going to leave that in the packaging. We get this nice sword here. It's got some nice details there. Looks like there is some writing on the blade, but it's in another language. But yeah, I think this turned out fantastic. Get some brown on the handle, and sculpt work on there looks really nice. And it's not as flimsy as some of the swords we've seen from McFarlane Toys, so that's nice. There's been a couple. I think one of them was one of Wonder Woman's swords, and they've just been atrocious. They come out so warped because they're so thin. So it's nice to see that this sword is a lot better. And then we also get this nice cloak here. And it's a really nice quality. Get some stitching up here around the hood. I've not quite got it to lay quite right on him yet. I haven't tied these around him yet, but we'll get it to work. But it's nice that this was included. However, for the price, it would have been nice if this fit me as well. So let's go ahead and get a look at his articulation. So unfortunately, for the head, it's basically nothing. Like, because of the hair, we can barely turn at all. So it's, yeah, pretty useless, unfortunately. We do get a hinge and a swivel for the shoulders. And this is nice and pliable, so that gets out of the way. And then we get a bicep swivel, as well as butterfly joints in there, so that's always nice. We get our double jointed elbows. And then we are going to get a hinge and swivel for the wrists. Now for the torso, I think there is a like some kind of crunch in there, but it's underneath the armor. This is kind of soft, but it's still going to be pretty hindered there. But we do get a waist cut as well, and we get a decent bit of motion there, so that's nice. Now for the hips, we go out that far, and then out that far, so that's nice. And then check it out, folks. Right here, I don't know if this is the first figure we're seeing with this right here. This thigh cut on a McFarlane Toys figure. You have to let me know, is this the first time? I think that it is, at least on a 7-inch figure like this. I don't know, let me know. I think this is a first. And then we get our double jointed knees here. And we're not going to kick his own butt because of the thickness of the pants there. I don't think, no. I don't know if it's stuck or... Nah, it's not going to go back that far. It'd be nice if we got something here at the top of the boot, but since we got a thigh cut this time around, I'm not even going to complain. So, but let's move down here to the ankles, and we get our hinge and our rocker, but because of the style here, we don't get much forward and back, but we also don't have to look at those unsightly ratchet joints that they use, like the ball pegs. They're kind of hidden there from the pants, so that is a nice touch. And then we get our toe joint there for the last bit of articulation. And that is going to wrap it up. And here we have our live-action Geralt of Rivia from the Netflix series, next to our Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher 3 video game. Here he is next to Ciri from the video game, and we are eventually getting a live-action version of her as well. And this Ciri figure is one of my favorite McFarlane figures in my entire collection. She is amazing. I highly recommend picking her up. Here he is next to Peacemaker, just because, and yeah, I'm not quite sure about the scale here, but yeah. Here he is with the Bat and the Cat from the upcoming The Batman film, both from McFarlane Toys as well. Here he is next to the Henry Cavill Superman from McFarlane Toys, and Yeah, I'm not quite sure what is going on with this scale. I know that this figure was $19.99 and this one was $29.99. What did I ever do to you, McFarlane Toys? Really? And here he is next to a Lord of the Rings Gandalf action figure from Toy Biz. And finally, here he is next to my favorite figure in my entire collection at the moment. And that is the Star Wars The Black Series Boba Fett Tython. And, you know, we've talked about pocket figs. You know, Wade over at Unparalleled Universe has got his coffin figs. Well, I got something new for you. This is my bedside fig. Not only is this my pocket fig, this guy is my bedside fig. So overall, I gotta say, if we're being honest here, I'm a bit disappointed with this figure. Now, don't get me wrong, I have been waiting for a live action Witcher for quite some time now, and I'm stoked that we finally have one. However, for such a huge property, I'm a little surprised that this wasn't executed, you know, just a little bit better. And I definitely gotta say, the $29.99 is a fucking joke. I won't be returning him. Like I said, I'm happy to have him, but you have got to be kidding me. For what we get, not only is he way smaller than most other, like, at least with DC Multiverse. Now, I understand he's not DC Multiverse, but he's still a McFarlane 7-inch figure. That's the scale he's supposed to be in. And for being pretty much $10 more, I mean, is that the cost for the thigh cut? Is that what we're going to have to pay if we want thigh cut with our figures? If so, that's just ridiculous. The cloak is cool, but because you cannot remove his scabbard, I believe that's what it's called, his sheath for his sword, it just lays all wonky. Look at that. So, you know, I don't think that comes off. And it definitely doesn't lay right when the sword is in it. So, yeah, a bit of a disappointment. You know, I'm, you know, glad I bought him. But I will say, you know, if we're talking numbers here, I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10, unfortunately. Yeah, that high price is a bit ridiculous for what we're getting here. We should have gotten Christ for a display, some kind of background or something. I don't know. I'm just not quite sure what they were thinking. So I would say, and because of the face just not being that close to Henry Cavill, I would maybe wait on this figure unless, you know, I had to have it, so I didn't wait. If you have to have it, I get it. I'm right there with you. But if you're a casual fan, you don't have to have it. Wait for the Season 2 figures because they were looking a bit better from the promo images that I saw. And hopefully they won't be $29.99. I think they got to sort something out there, or at least include some more or something. I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah, definitely hold off and wait for those other figures that are coming in the next couple months. So, but I think that is going to do it. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like what you saw, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed already, then please subscribe. And be sure to hit that notification bell on the way out so you know when I got new content coming. And until next time, take good care.